or unhealthy, you put a strain on the people around you. And obviously, I've got a young family, and I almost died, to be honest. So I would have left them without a dad, and I would have left, you know what I mean, my family, what I'm close to, and my relatives. I would have disappeared off this face of the earth and left them. So my mindset when I was coming here is not to be selfish, because I looked at it from a back to front point of view, is by me not being healthy, by me not losing the weight and being stronger as a person, I'm being selfish to the people around me.
Affinity Extra, be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Hey guys, this is Roger Moore here from Affinity Extra. I'm here doing this. Why am I doing this with this mic? Because I've got a mic on my lapel. Let me just get used to this. Right. Hi, my name is Roger Moore. I'm here on Affinity Extra, celebrating gospel music of black origin. But you know how we do it on the edge. We have the talk of all talks, and usually I talk to my PT, personal trainer, whichever way you look at it anyway, so Mikey Spice about health and and different things. But obviously we've been kicked out of the studio, not kicked out of the studio, we've got renovations going on, so we're flipping things a bit, and I'm here where I get it going on every Monday, here with Mikey Spice. I'm here in the gym, Body Shop Transformation Center.
Thank you for coming down, Roger.
Okay.
Awesome.
You're gonna go drop it like that, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thank you for coming down and being part of my arena, as I call it.
This is the studio, making it work. But now, we're gonna have a conversation with Daniel, somebody who I've met a few weeks ago, and he's starting his transformation, body transformation. Is that the right way of saying it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, mind, body and soul transformation.
All right.
Hey Daniel, yeah.
Mind, body and soul, that's the one. That is the one.
Right. What I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna let Daniel just talk his story. I'm gonna let him talk his story. I'm gonna give him the mic, and he's gonna talk his story. And then, Mike, we're gonna plug into you and say how you plugged into his story. So just give us your journey and even your creative background. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm Daniel Alexander. I've probably got a very familiar, recognisable face. I'm on TV quite a lot. I'm the face of Lenore, the guy in the bed. I've done several adverts. I'm part of Paddy Power at the moment, and I've done quite a few things creatively. But in life, I think one of the things what you have to always come back to. It doesn't matter what you got in your bank. It doesn't matter who you are. The main thing is health. Health is wealth. And I was quite blessed growing up. I grew up in a typical black Caribbean household where we would have very healthy food. I mean, the times when I was eating avocado, what you call pear, obviously, in Jamaica, guys at school didn't know what the hell that was. But now everyone recognises this and recognises the foods, what we used to eat. So I was very healthy, I was very athletic, I was faster than everybody else, quicker than everybody else, stronger than everybody else. Not just through genetics, but also a healthy lifestyle and growing up in a healthier household. But as you grow up and you leave and you step away from your mother's cooking, and you start to go off track a bit with your eating and so forth. And what I noticed is I started tending to put on weight. And I think some of the things that are factors of putting on weight is when you start driving, you start eating more fast food, because I used to do a bit of sales, so I used to work up and down on the road. And you know what it's like, when you 1 minute you look down and you can see your toes, the next thing you look down, you can't see anything but your belly. So it's just one of them kind of things. And I think everybody kind of yo-yos or has something, Achilles heel, so to speak, in life. And mine, in particular, was just putting on weight and trying to lose it. But where it come to a head was with the COVID pandemic, what happened. And 10 of us caught COVID, and I was one of the 10. But I caught COVID so bad, I had to be admitted into hospital. As soon as I got there, they put me on a ventilator, and they put me in an induced coma for 21 days, and I wasn't allowed to leave the bed for 8 weeks, so I had muscle fatigue and I had to learn to walk again. And I had this terrible thing that people talk about, long COVID, where I'll be breathless walking to and from the stairs or going up the stairs. So I've known Mikey for a long time. We've got the same uncle, worked that one out. But I've known him from a young lad, and he's always been into his fitness, and I've always watched his Instagram videos, and I've followed him. And it's always been amazing. And then one of the things what I think scares people about training, when you see people training, you see people achieve things, you look down and you think, oh, I couldn't do that, or you get scared of it, or you don't want to go to a gym because you get scared away. Well, I'm a really good example of why you can't be scared and why you've got to go and achieve it. Because when you come into a gym, especially with Mike, you get a lot of personal support. He's been supporting me with my eating regime, and he's been monitoring me, and we've been stepping up and increasing, and he's going at my pace. And I'm achieving every single solid week. So I would say to anybody, it's all about getting into shape. And one of the things that I don't want, and we know it's probably going to come back again, some kind of pandemic, I don't want to be in a position where I'm unfit, I'm overweight, and this pandemic comes in and hurts us. There's so much super bugs and viruses around at the moment, but we've got to be so careful, and we've got to live and be as healthy and as strong as we can. So if anyone out there thinking about starting to get into shape, starting to come and have a talk to Mikey, come and have a bit of consultation, but time is now. Because things are changing. It's not the kind of podcast to go into that, but there's a lot of things changing in the world. But we've got to get healthy spiritually. We've got to get healthy body, mind, and soul.
That's cool. Now that's a vibe. So Mike, I'm just gonna ask you, right? So, So Daniel calls you. So you know Daniel long time, yeah?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Just that right close to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know Daniel for a while. So Daniel now walks in, gives you a holler. You're thinking, yeah, brethren, and Daniel kind of like million superstar, get little TV and a little bit of things going on there. And he's saying he gives you his story. Now, as a trainer, we've spoken in the past about the frustration of working with people that talk, they want to change, and don't walk the talk. They do it for 2 weeks, and then it just fall apart. You got Daniel, he hits you up, he's got long COVID, he wants to transform. How did you, as a trainer, was you like, oh, here's another one? Or how do you approach this? He's knocked your door, he wants to transform, like everybody wants to transform, but how do you approach this as a trainer?
Well, first of all, I need to see what Daniel's reasons why he contacted me.
That's
and
good.
Daniel had a very strong reason, and he was backed up by 4 reasons of why he needed to do it. He didn't want to do it, he needed to do it, and he actually told me. And then when he made the financial investment, however, I did say that he was going to be investing in himself, he was willing to pay all up front, and that instantly showed me that he wasn't messing about. He really wanted to do this. So in speaking to him, I understand about his goals, his targets, his directions, and his purpose of why he needed to do it.
Wow.
From there, I've got a formula that I'm teaching anybody that works with me on how to overcome anxiety and anybody that's scared, and it's my desire technique. And I said that I want to teach Daniel about my desire technique, and like I say, it's always about discovering. We don't know where we're at, but what we need to do is at least find out where we're starting from. And then from there, just showing him a formula on how he can improve each week, just working at his own pace and not my pace, because I know that it can be quite scary if you haven't worked out in a long time and coming back into exercise. It's like you can't even dream of actually doing it. But showing this formula, it's easier for you to say to yourself, you know what, I did that good this week. Next week I'm just going to try it a little bit better, and then it progresses. Now I'm seeing some amazing stuff from Daniel. Daniel, am I right? at the beginning, if I told you that you were going to achieve that, you would have probably been like, whoa. Do you know what I mean? You didn't think it was going to come so quick?
No, I didn't.
Yeah?
So with when we hit Daniel before, because it's like before we get into the deepness of the progress, is because guys, I've been training on a Monday. I see Daniel every Monday when I come in, and just we have fun because we have some step ups and we do certain step ups together, whatever we train out, and I'm like, yo, like you can see progression every single. It's scary. I'm going, hold on a second. Yeah, and you know what I mean, and it's even hit for us. You know, we was moaning about, oh, get me 20 kgs, and I backed out. Oh, what's this? Oh, 28. Let's do that. Next thing you know, we're doing that. Anyway, so and then what's good actually is Daniel, because obviously, trust me, he's strong. Yeah, so he'll get me some big weights, and I'm thinking, so I'm going across. So it's actually good fun training with Daniel, but I'm seeing the progression in a short stem of time. It's only been 8 weeks, so. Daniel, before I'm gonna hit back to Daniel before I get back to Mikey, what is you know when you have a picture of what you, before you called Mike, did you have a picture, maybe somebody you saw on Instagram was like, Mikey, I wanna look like Mr. T when he was 25. Did you have a picture of Rambo or Schwarzenegger that you want to be like? Well, what was your picture? Because you talk about you want to be health. What does health look like for you visually when you look at the mirror? Or did you ignore that? Just want to get your mindset in terms of what do you visualization about how you're approaching?
I mean, my mindset, to be honest, it wasn't just on me. And I think the thing what sometimes people often forget is when something happens to you or you're unhealthy, you put a strain on the people around you. And obviously I've got a young family, and I almost died, to be honest. So I would have left them without a dad, and I would have left, you know what I mean, my family, what I'm close to, my relatives. I would have disappeared off this face of the earth and left them. So my mindset when I was coming here is not to be selfish, because I looked at it from a back to front point of view, is by me not being healthy, by me not losing the weight and being stronger as a person, I'm being selfish to the people around me. I'm putting a burden on their lives, because it's only going to be so long before carrying so much weight when eventually people are probably going to be pushing you around, or you need hip replacements or knee replacements. So that puts a pressure on your other half, that puts a pressure on your kids. And I don't want to be a burden to them. And I want to be able to go in the park and play football with the grandkids. So this is what I see. And I didn't see an Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I didn't see, you know what I mean, a Usain Bolt running around. I just seen that I want to do it not only for my family, to help them. And I had a vision in my mind, and I said to myself, I want to, in 10 years' time, turn around and thank the person today who I am, and say thank you ever so much. 10 years ago, I thank you for changing your lifestyle, because now, 10 years on, I'm healthy, I'm fit, and I'm still achieving. And the only way I can do that is literally turn around and say, thank you for 10 years ago for making that decision to lose the weight and to get strong and to become healthy. And that was the concept, what drove me. Because sometimes just looking good and walking down the road is not enough sometimes. You need to go around and see how you affect other people's lives. And then it is selfish in the end. And that's what I had to grasp on, and that's what made me strong, and that's what pushed me over the line.
You're next.
No, but
that's deep, you know,
but that's what I'm saying. When we sat down and we spoke, and Daniel, you know, he the cause was greater than himself. Do you know what I mean? And when somebody talks like that, then I know. And then they also take other actions to say, you know what, I'm paying all up front. I just want to get this done. I knew instantly he was on this journey for change. It's the ones, and you know. We've only been working for like 8 weeks right now, or something like that. But Daniel's even said that he's taking, he's seeing the difference, but he's willing to go even longer until, do you know what I mean? And this is the thing. It's a journey, and my job is for me is to show Daniel of what he can become just week by week, so long as he, dots everything down, and I'm overseeing that. He's not cheating on himself, and he's staying disciplined. Because and that's all fitness is. It's an opportunity for you to work on yourself, hit some personal achievements, that things that you didn't think you could do. And that makes it one of the most happiest moments. You can't do that on a day-to-day basis in life, apart from really working on yourself.
No, 100%, Mike. So when it comes to Daniel's already coming in with the mindset that you're going, okay, because when I spoke to Mikey, it was explained to me before, because Carl coming in, he says, there's a guy called Daniel who's coming, he's got the right mindset. I'm thinking, how do you know that? Because I've seen so many people come to the gym, and 3 weeks later, you don't see them again, you know what I mean? So I already can see, just by listening to Daniel, I'm like, yo, the dude's on this thing, So in terms of where you're coming from, Mike, when you're looking at your program sheets and you're setting up a program for...
My initial thing is, I know that Daniel needs to work on his cardiovascular. However, he needed a strong body first and to gather a strong mindset.
Okay.
We started off by doing resistance work. And so he can actually see his progression through the resistance work. I knew if I hit him too much on the cardiovascular, that would be too much for him.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to scare him off, because remember, it's always scary when you're going into new forbidden territory. But just working with resistance work and just making small steps.
Yeah. No.
And also looking at his foods, his drinking, his sleeping. It's a work in progress. We haven't got it all there, but we're moving closer.
Yeah. No, that's good. Let me just hit it over to... So, bro, how does your week look like now since you started here doing training with Mikey? How's your... I'm not saying so much... it could be even down to eating habits, because people like this, oh, you go to gym every day. It's not quite like that, but how does your week look like now with this new journey? What have you changed in your life to...
I mean, the first thing is preparation. And I realised that a lot of times people do the wrong things because of bad prep. So Mike draws it into me, gotta get prepared. So it's all about just setting out your week, especially with food, because mine's in and around food. I mean, it's all about just trying to get that preparation right. And because when you got no prep and you're not organised, that's when you do something silly, or that's when you go and get fast food, or you grab for something quick. So my biggest problem is organisation, preparation. I'm not there yet, I'm on a journey. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a fad. It's not something where I'm gonna all of a sudden switch and get everything perfect. It's an ongoing thing, but what complements it really well is coming here, and I absolutely love coming here and working out. And it was a bit crazy when I first come here, because there's quite a few female ladies here, and it's really good, because even though a lot of them were stronger and more healthy and more fitter than me, the encouragement what they give off, the encouragement everyone gives off, and it's about being around the right people in the right environment. And I've always said this, I mean, not going too much off track, but sometimes if you live or you grow in a certain area, then you get less opportunities, and you, like for argument's sake, if you're growing in the cities, you sometimes get involved in gangs and stuff like that. And a lot of times it's your environment, how you behave and what you do. And there's always things what you hear, especially from a Caribbean background, bad association spoils useful habits, which is so true. So I knew that I had to submerge myself in an environment with people on the same journey as me. And that's the most important thing to do. I mean, with anything in life, whether it's health, business, sport, whatever you're doing, you gotta immerse yourself with the people of like-minded ability, because if you don't, then you're only gonna get people nagging and backbiting, and to be honest, there's a lot of jealous people out there. There's a lot of people don't want you to achieve. I call them frenemies, unfortunately. and it's they act like they got your back, but when they hear you training, oh, well, you training? You sure you should be training? You sure you should be doing this? Wow. And it's like, and they're waiting for you to fall. They don't want you to achieve.
Come on.
And they don't want you to do it. And this is why you have to almost start to block out them people in your life and just be around positive mental attitude. You got to be around people with the same mindset, who want to achieve the same goals, and they want you to do well. And there's nothing like that. It's just an energy. And I tell you what, I look forward to training in this gym 3 times a week. I come here, and I come here excited. I come here, and when I walk out the door, I've achieved again, and I've achieved again, and I've achieved again. And then by achieving in the gym, then you want to achieve more. So any way to achieve more is to get your food right. Because if you eat the wrong food, then you can't achieve in the gym because you haven't got the strength, or you're not building up, or you're not achieving. So it's hand in hand in the end.
Yeah.
It's just, it automatically has to happen like that. You automatically have to start eating better to achieve more. And it's just, it works hand in foot.
So on the food point, just keep the mic a second. Something that we spoke the other day about, Daniel, about you're talking about your diet, and a lot of listeners maybe definitely have brought up in church, like, you know, like this, and you're saying that you're coming from a Jehovah's Witness background, and we don't eat. They eat a certain. We you know, I find that Jehovah's Witnesses, even Seventh Day, they have certain strictness about diets, what you don't eat and what you do eat, and it's amazing, guys. You know, and I feel like, and I would say our generation, myself, Mikey, yourself, a generation, we grew up eating shepherd's pie that was made by mum, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Or certain foods that was made, mashed potato was potato mash, yeah? Into a generation now that just sticks the mashed potato into the microwave, 2 holes, and it's done, and we treat it like it's healthy food. That process element has basically killed you off. You mentioned about as a child you was as fast as anybody else. You just said, oh wait, chat, but you know what I'm saying, whatever. But the thing is, you were health, you know, through our diets, through the way we eat, the way our parents sorted, set us up, and we didn't appreciate it. We got there, jumped the first time we got into McDonald's, we yammed at McDonald's, and we do all this, and you know, and it's kind of messed you up. When you look back at your diet back then, when did it all go wrong for you? Is it the moment that you left home, or did you always sneak off to your friends and have something to eat? When did your diet just fall apart?
I mean, it was a combination. I mean, it was a combination between not having a car and having a car. That's a massive, it's a massive influence on your life, because all of a sudden you go from walking everywhere and foot express, as I call it, to driving in a car and driving to around the corner to the shops. So that changes your lifestyle. And again, being able to, I'm going back a bit now. Before you could pick up the phone and order Uber and all that kind of stuff. There is other reputable companies. Then you could drive out to places and you could pick up food and you could do this, you could do that. So you your lifestyle starts to change. And again, the quickness I was talking about, the preparation. And I think just coming from a very religious background and coming from a household where we ate very healthy food. Like, I went to my English counterpart's friend, I was just saying this the other day actually, and he had fizzy pop in the fridge, and a sweet cupboard and all that kind of stuff with crisp and all that. And I'm not saying I didn't have stuff like that, but we didn't have all that. Massive sweet cupboard in the pantry and loads of cakes. It was a treat now and then for us.
Yeah, man.
And again, he would have beans and egg for dinner. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having beans and egg for tea, but it was unheard of in my household to have that for beans. If my stepdad just didn't have yam and banana or rice and peas or whatever, or cabbage or whatever stable food it was, then he would kick off. So my mum wouldn't dare make that kind of food in our household. So this is how we had good development and we had a good structure. In our life, in our growing up. And I was that healthy and quick. I even had Chris Akabusi come to my school to watch me run and invited me to train me at Alexander Stadium. So this was the fitness I was coming from, and this is why I'm so fighting to get back. Because I've played rugby for a good 25 years of my life. I've always been an athletic person, and when you lose that ability and it starts to go, it's like to have loved and lost and never to loved at all. I was fit and healthy, and then it went, and you know what it's like to be quicker and faster and stronger. So it's about what was I doing when I was quicker and faster and stronger? Well, yeah, I was eating the right food. I was walking a lot. And you've got to start regressing back to what was the formula. And the formula is working out. It is exercising. It is eating the right food. It is having the right mindset. Because at the end of the day, we all start to slow down when we get a bit older. Our bodies are not the same. But a lot of it's mindset. Because we're told certain things. We're told when we get older that we can't achieve stuff. And I don't know if you've ever seen some of the marathons where there's an 80-year-old that's run 24 miles in some kind of mad costume suit. So it's achievable. But how did he do that? Because of his mindset. So it's all about the mindset. You've got to change your mindset. There's so much negativity in this world. There's so much evil in this world. There's so much badness in this world. There's so much things flashing on you from the telly that we lose our way. We lose that spiritualness in us. We lose that God-given spiritual inclination, what's in all of us. And then when we start to forget about that, then we start to go off the path and we start to go off the journey of life.
Yeah, I think definitely I totally agree with you, and I think that it's definitely, you raised some valid points, sorry guys. I was like, did you plan this? Sorry, this is proper impromptu. I'm like, dude, man's like, he's been working out in the mirror, got this speech anyway, so he's gonna make it.
But this is what I'm saying. I can hear Daniel's voice. He is 100% passionate about changing.
No,
and as a fellow athlete of somebody, because that's what I'm saying, I really enjoy working with people who had a sporting background and who've lost their athleticism as they was back in their younger days, and I'm here to help them get it back. And and his attitude, what he's showing me, he's doing it.
No, 100%. So Mike, what's your? I know this is your. I'm not gonna treat Daniel like a specimen, but what are you? Because the thing is, we've spoken in the past about as trainers, all people want to see is the before, after picture. They want to see. We're not gonna get into gym creeps right now. I know all this saga of everyone looking at each other, going, "Ooh, that's looking good," and all that shapes and stuff. Yeah. But what's your you as a trainer? What's your targets for Daniel? Let's say, for example, short term, in 6 months, where do you want to see? Where do you want to see Daniel? Do you have functionality?
Thank you. I know Daniel's already started to mention that he wants to get back into rugby.
Okay,
so
cool.
and he didn't say that first of all, but after he started to see some wins and the rest of it, so I know that we've got to work on his cardiovascular. So once we finish like these 12 weeks of building his strength and improving on his cardiovascular, then we're going to really up it up, and we're going to end up, really focusing on his diet and his walking. And
I like this approach of 12 weeks, guys. So Mike we mentioned before on the program, you're looking at 12-week programs.
Yeah, 3 months is a great time for people to start building habits, and then just progressively build it. But the biggest thing is, I'm all about habits, and the person that you want to become, you've got these habits. So I'm really trying to work with, Daniel to instill these habits in him, and his body will naturally turn.
Yeah. This guys, this is absolutely enlightening. Just hear Mikey, and I think that it's more than that. We're talking about mindset, and you're looking at mind, and our mind has a major part to play with this, and our environment. You mentioned about your environment, and I find within my black culture, gospel Christian culture, is that we have a laziness when it comes to our health, because we have this great healer that's going to heal us every time we get sick, and we go, God, heal us, like it's some superpower, and we abuse that power. We sit on that too much, guys. And for me, as a passionate Christian, but at the same time somebody who's looked after themselves over the years, and I've been criticized and I've said this amount of times because I want to reiterate this, because I know people talk about it. I've been criticised for playing football. I would say focus on this, focus on that. But what functionality could I be for my children? I've got two 6-foot-year-old sons. Mike has seen them. They're massive youths. If I was there, can't move, they could run rings around me right now. You know what I mean? And they're 18 and 19 years old. I'm not saying they're disrespectful towards me, but to be healthy enough to say, have your son go, come dad, look at me, has to think about testing me. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, like your son has to think about testing you. I'm not saying you want to be fit, but it's one of the ones where I want to be able, fit and functional, to run about with my children. You mentioned about grandchildren, and I feel that we just have this culture, we can just eat, scoff the blessings of God, and then rely on God to heal our heart when we have to have a triple heart bypass. God's going to heal our internal organs, you know what I mean? Because, I've got pancreas disease, liver disease, kidney disease, heart disease, this disease, that disease. We're having all these diseases, guys, internally, but our diet, and I've talked to people with the NHS, and the key thing that they've said is, you know, because of our income streams, financially, sometimes we go for the very cheap options, the easy options, and we've actually affected our diets in a bad way. So it's good to hear this, and everyone's like, this could be big money because he invested in Mikey and because he's made the investment. But at the end of the day, guys, it starts, there's so much information out there, guys, yeah? If you got the mindset to change your body, I believe you will change. I don't know, Mike, because sometimes people are listening to this now going, I don't have the money like Daniel. But the thing is, you don't need it's the mindset to go for that change.
You've got to think to yourself, like, the biggest thing, Daniel didn't want to be a burden on anybody. And you got to actually think to yourself, when you become sick, who are you going to depend on? The biggest thing that, you know, everyone fought and died for is freedom. And freedom is the ability to go to the toilet when you want to go, the ability to walk down the street, the ability to have your independence. That is the true freedom. And when it's taken away, I guarantee you, anybody that's been sick, okay, or had damaged one leg, that would be the biggest appreciation ever, just for your leg to get fixed, so you could just go about your normal day to day.
Wow. Yeah. Dan,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to touch a little bit on this money thing. We live in the Western society, and we've got a crazy concept of what money is. It's an absolute travesty. Now, I'm gonna show you something now, how our mindset can be so silly, and how we cannot focus on what we need to do. Now, I had my knee was really bad. I had arthritis in my knee. I couldn't, I would go a journey for about an hour or so, and my knee would literally lock up, and it would take me a while to get it loosened again. I had an MRI scan on it. They said we were not going to operate on it because it's too bad. I actually went then to a Chinese medical center. I had 5 sessions on my knee. My knee's got no problems at all. I started playing rugby again. I got no arthritis in my knee. I got no knee problems whatsoever. And that's 5 sessions. Did you know that I had 10 sessions in all? It cost me just over £500. Now, because obviously I'm around the rugby circuit and sports league, I see other people in the same situation, and they're going to go for keyhole surgery and all this. Wow. And I said, don't do it. Just pay £500. Look at me, I'm a living example. Wow. That you don't need to do that. You know what I said? I can't afford it. I can't do it. I said, what do you mean you can't afford it, can't do it? He says, no, it's a bit expensive. And I said, you can't put a price on health and all that. So anyway, I let them go for a little bit now. And I said, when I goes, where are you going this year? Oh yeah, I'm flying out to Cyprus this year. Are you going out with your family? Yeah. That must have set you back a bit. Yeah. It's about 7k all in. Oh, so you're going away, 7k all in. That's nice. How long are you going for? Oh yeah, I'm going for a couple of weeks. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds good. But I thought you said you never had no money.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a holiday. I said, what's more important You not being able to walk again, you not having the full lymphs, or you going and spending £7K on a holiday after you eat, sleep, and drink and do whatever. 2 weeks is over, the money done. People invest in the wrong thing. You can never go wrong if you invest in yourself. You can invest in cars. You can invest in Bitcoin or whatever. There's always a chance you're going to lose, but you'll never lose if you invest in yourself. And when you look at it right, you got people buying new cars, they're doing this, they'll have a night out, or go to a fancy restaurant and spend a couple of £100 easy and not even thinking nothing. But the minute you talk about fixing their body, the minute you talk about investing in themselves, all of a sudden I can't afford it. So it's a mindset. It's a silly Western mindset where we'd rather get a brand new fancy car outside and can't walk properly. It's as simple as that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo,
I can't even say no more than that, because Daniel, like I
he's
said,
got a car in the body.
do you know what I mean? All I can say is that investments, I spent a lot of money investing on my education. And, I tell you the truth, I should have done it sooner. And now, do you know what? Educating, reading books, working on my body. I've always spent money on my body, but however, do you know what I mean? Massages, back problem, I will go see a sports massage person to get it fixed. But you can't, like I said, your health is your wealth, and there it is.
No, yeah. That's big, guys. That's big. Listen, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now because I think we're just getting comfortable. Go on.
Before you go, anyway, listen. If you want to make a change and in yourself, your mindset, your body, listen. Every week I have 2 appointments to sit down and map out a plan of action, like I did with Daniel, in my diary. You can go to the link in my bio on Instagram, Body Sharp.
And in the description here.
Yeah, and I'm happy to sit down with you. We can have on the phone or via Zoom, and just to look over and how I can help and support you if you want to make a change this year in your life.
Now, guys, 100%, that's amazing, guys. Amazing conversation with Daniel, proper impromptu. That came in the studio, and Daniel's here. He's doing a workout on his birthday.
I know,
you know what I'm saying? His birthday, and his birthday. You know what I'm saying? And that's absolutely amazing. And happy birthday, bro. And like I said, there's going to be many more birthdays. You're going to fight for it. You're going to fight for your life. Every birthday now is a big appreciation. You know what I'm saying?
It's a blessing.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. And, I would just encourage people, just check us out, hit the links out there. If you want to reach out to Mikey. You put any comments in here that you want to say, guys, no problem. Nothing but love. This is Roger on Infinity Extra, celebrating gospel music of black origin, but you're on the edge where we taught the thing. That's how we are. Blessings.
Bless.
Hey, this is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.